Hello everyone, Andrew Collishaw, naturopath and homeopath. Hope things are going well for you, and I'm going to talk to you today about something that is able to give us a bit of an insight, a deeper insight into the process of health and healing. You see, at the moment I'm actually in the middle of moving house. So for those of you that have moved houses before, it's a big job, isn't it? And part of it is cleaning out bits and pieces. And I have been going through all my books thinking, okay, do I really need this? And this is one of the books that I've saved. This is one from the 18th century, the 1800s, and written by Samuel Hahnemann. And I just wanted to read you a little bit, just a tiny bit out of it, because it's just amazing. I find it amazing how incredibly interesting and how much wisdom is written in terms of medicine, health, healing. Let me just read you a little bit and then I'll explain. So he's talking here about a skin eruption and the process of a skin disease. So of course this will apply to all sorts of health conditions. For if the eruption has been on the skin for some time, it will of itself begin to recede gradually from the skin. Then the internal sora has already in part gained the upper hand. The cutaneous eruption is then no more completely vicarious, and ailments of another kind appear, partly as the signs of a latent sora, partly as chronic disease develops from the internal sora. So now in terms of what he's talking about there, sora, that's another subject, that's a bit complicated. But in essence, what Samuel Hahnemann is saying is that when you've got a skin disease and you do nothing and it just disappears, it kind of sinks deeper into the body. It doesn't just disappear and then it vanishes. No, that disease tendency, whatever it is, that weakness, that vulnerability, that particular condition, it doesn't go away. It just goes off the surface of the skin, so you can't see it. But it goes internally. And what is found is that soon after, at some point after, another expression of that weakness, that illness, that vulnerability will show itself, i.e. another type of illness or a more severe form of that skin problem. So it's about, you could say it's about suppression. So when we have conditions that are not treated or not treated well, there is a chance that they can seep deeper into the body. And this is how we understand the process of health and healing in homeopathic terms. It can sink deeper, and when it sinks deeper, it means that in order to heal that new expression, it can be more difficult, it can take longer. It might take stronger medicines in order to do that. So this applies to all sorts of conditions. It's like, what's another good example? If you have, say, if you're getting migraines, you're working really hard in your work, you're getting migraines, for example, and you're taking painkillers, but you're not addressing the stress anxiety side of things. So the migraines or the headaches might go, but then what happens? So you're going to still have that underlying tension and stress in the nervous system, and that sympathetic nervous system is going to be revved up, and so that can therefore then lead on to other problems. For example, the anxiety side of things might increase because you haven't dealt with that underlying issue. Makes sense, doesn't it? So this is what he was talking about back in the 1800s, very clearly, very thoughtfully, and that's been an integral part of homeopathic philosophy when we're looking at health and disease. being able to very mindfully work out, okay, how am I going to treat this? With what am I going to treat it? And how can I make sure that I'm not suppressing whatever is going on and actually dealing with the underlying causes or cause? So I think most of us would probably just naturally agree with all of this. I mean, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It's kind of easy to follow. But when it comes into practice, I think we often don't address symptoms and conditions as well as we could, or as thoughtfully as we could. So something to think about. So I would be encouraging you to think about, okay, this is my health at the moment. These are the kinds of health concerns I have, physically, mentally, emotionally. And think about, okay, how am I treating those? How am I dealing with those conditions, those symptoms? And is that going to be the best way to make sure that I'm addressing these underlying problems and not just suppressing the problem for it to come out in some other way? And I'm not saying that homeopathic medicine is the only way. That's a way that I'm very familiar with and use in my practice. Of course, there are other ways of dealing with this too. So have a think about that. Think through what it is you're doing with your health, your healing, and are there ways you can tweak what you're doing to make sure you're actually addressing those underlying issues so the problems don't just build or get covered over. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Okay, well, I'm glad this hasn't gone to the recycling. I would put this is like the holy grail in homeopathy, and it will be on my shelf until the day I die, I'm sure. So, all right, that's all for today. I hope that's helpful. I would love to hear any comments that you have, any questions. Just pop them in the chat there, and I shall look forward to talking with you soon. Okay, bye.